Hello, everybody, and welcome to Plot Unknown. Before we go ahead and get started with today's episode, I just wanted to let you guys know that today's show is brought to you by Audible. So Audible is offering our listeners a free audiobook with a 30-day trial membership. All you need to do to go ahead and get started in listening is go to audibletrial.com/plot and go ahead and browse the unmatched selection of audio programs. Again, all you need to do to go ahead and start listening on your commute or during work or whatever is go ahead and go to audibletrial.com/plot. Welcome back, everybody, to Plot Unknown. My name is Luke.
My name is Melissa.
My name is Sam.
And
we love Nickelback.
we love Nickelback. Today's episode is W for
The Witch.
Yes, The Witch.
Okay, but before we get into this,
Yes.
are we going to talk about how it's spelled with two V's?
It's spelled with two V's in any of the images it's in. It's spelled with a W in the
text?
actual,
Okay.
all of the actual promotional stuff.
They do it with two V's because it's A24 is the studio, and A24 kind of tries to do like
Cool
edgy
things?
shit. And this was
Okay.
also like this film is the director's first movie,
Okay.
so it's a real good solid movie.
It also just adds some interest to it.
Yeah, it's also
VVitch.
it's a period piece, so you guys got to make plots, but it's a period piece, and there's a reason that there's two V's. Not like plot wise, but just like time period wise. Beth is calling.
Some mom. What does a period piece mean?
It's set in a specific
Yeah.
Time period?
Yeah.
Ah, I could
But,
have
like,
used context clues for that one.
Yeah, so there's movies that have settings, and like
Yeah.
the setting isn't super important to like Elf, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm talking about Elf in a podcast about The Witch, but like Elf is a movie that doesn't have to happen. Elf happens in New York City, right?
Yes.
Elf doesn't have to happen in New York City.
And the North Pole.
Yes, the
Can't
Norwal.
forget that. It actually occurs all over the world because they fly in the sleigh.
You're right. Good
my
old
God.
Santa Claus.
This is not an elf podcast.
Anyway, so like Elf can happen in any city, in any place ever.
Okay.
Right? They just happen to put it in New York City. This movie and period pieces in general cannot happen in certain places.
Exactly.
So like, have you ever heard of Downton Abbey, the TV show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're British.
Yeah, it's a British show for old women, right?
Yeah,
So,
yes.
but like it's that show is in a specific time period,
Okay.
and it's about the people, but it's also about the time period, and that's kind of what
in
this
a
movie's
period
about.
piece, the setting is as much of a character as anything else.
Okay. Cool.
Also, I just want to bring to both of your attention that if you turn behind you and see in the bottom right movie, there's a movie called The 100.
Yeah.
I want to watch that because it seems like PUBG. Maybe it's like Fortnite. Maybe they can build.
Wowee. Okay.
Cool.
So,
Oh, also, I just want everybody to know that I'm definitely going to find a way during this podcast to talk about Full House while we're talking about this movie.
Sam has watched 4 seasons of Full House in 2 weeks.
4.5.
4.5 seasons of Full House in 2 weeks.
I love John
It has
Stamos.
It's been quite
The only thing that
incredible
he talks about,
accomplishment.
honestly.
I love John Stamos.
Hey, did I tell you that I'm watching Full House?
You're like, yes, you did.
Yeah, this is the third time that you said it, Sam. Thank you.
Yeah, so Full House and
You're
The
welcome.
Witch are two very similar.
I'm
Similar
gonna
pieces
find
of
a
art.
way.
What have you been watching, Luke? Tell us what you've been
I've
watching.
been
Roller
watching
coaster videos.
Roller Coaster Tycoon and Planet Coaster videos.
Hell yeah.
Muglipa?
What's
What
my
have you
name?
been watching?
I've been watching Some movie? I can't talk either. Sex Education on
Oh.
Netflix. Yeah.
Oh, how is that?
It's really good.
Good.
Gillian Anderson is sexy as fuck.
Yes.
Cool.
It's very
Wow.
true.
Cool.
Beautiful. It's
So what
good.
do we do on this podcast?
We
Are you
should-
asking that rhetorically or are you genuinely curious?
No,
'Cause
I'm
I got
asking
two
you.
answers for
I'm
you.
asking it rhetorically.
Well, Melissa and I are going to take 5 minutes each.
Yep.
And write a plot of what we think The Witch is about because Melissa has literally no idea.
I have absolutely no idea.
You never saw any previews for
Nope.
this movie or anything?
Nope.
Okay.
I have never
I'll
heard
kind
of
of
it.
tell my little thing with this movie, I guess.
Yeah,
So I was
don't, like-
very excited for this movie when it was coming out, and then I didn't watch it. Well, that's not true. I watched about 20 minutes of it. It was a video taken of the movie in the movie theater with Chinese subtitles on it, and as we'll find out, you can't really understand what they're saying without subtitles.
I can't really is a real understatement.
Yeah, so
Like accent wise or just like hush hush?
accent-wise.
Accent wise, it's also quiet.
Okay.
It's very quiet.
Okay.
So I don't. That was also in 2015 when this movie came out. It was like 2 days after this movie released. I don't remember jack shit that happens in this movie because, again, I saw like 30 minutes of it, and from everything I've heard, this movie, I wouldn't have gotten the plot unless if I watched another hour.
Yeah.
So I have no idea. I know vaguely some things about it, but I don't know enough to figure out a plot.
Okay.
So, is it time to get this bread?
I
Oh
guess
my
so.
fucking God.
Melissa?
Yeah.
Will you start a timer?
I'll do it.
Yes.
While everybody is mad at me, let's roll that clip.
What went we out into this wilderness to find? Leaving our country, kindred, our fathers' houses. We travailed a vast ocean. For what? For what?
We must ask thee to be silent.
Was it not for the pure and faithful dispensation of the Gospels and the kingdom of God?
No more. We are your judges, and not you ours.
I cannot be judged by false Christians, for I have done nothing save preach Christ's true gospel.
All right. Melissa, would you like to go first?
Yeah, I kind of have to, right? Because you know more than I do.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to preface this by saying this is fucking dumb. And
Okay.
also, I'm very terrible at plots. It's more of a like...
No, I mean, out of the two of you, Luke is fucking bad. You
I write good
pretty-
plots.
There's a
though.
there's a difference. Luke has great plots, but he's always wrong.
He's wrong.
I have bad plots, and they're usually right. Okay. So this is mine.
Oh, fuck. We have one love. Ice cream.
Yeah, we do. I already opened mine. I'm going to be honest with you.
Hell yeah.
Okay, turn of the century, 1800s, England. There is a witch amongst the townfolk. There is a family who makes it their mission to hunt out the witch and rid the world of the evil creature. The witch, unfortunately, latches onto the soul of the young child of the family, little Timothy.
Timothy. Okay.
He becomes evil because of
Evil.
the
Was
he
witch.
little?
Evil. Huh?
Why is he little?
Because he's a child. And
Yeah,
he's
dunce.
British and small.
Small.
He becomes evil because of the... That was an awful accent. He becomes evil because of the witch attached to his soul, as one does. But his family doesn't understand that yet. They are still attempting to hunt the witch, but don't realize it's been under their nose the whole time.
Okay.
So he just keeps getting, like,
He keeps
eviler and
being
eviler.
witchier.
Yeah, and they're like, oh,
Vitchier, if you will.
Timothy's kind of acting weird.
Okay.
And then they figure it out. And then it said little Timothy terrorizes not only the city but his entire family. Will they figure it out? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Hopefully.
So a couple notes.
Okay, cool. Good.
Couple notes on your reading.
Okay.
Your British accent needs work.
Hello.
Hello, governor.
And that
That's pretty
sounds
sick.
a little bit like a mashup of The Exorcist and also what's that Halloween movie?
Wait.
Hocus Pocus?
Hocus Pocus?
Sounds.
Oh
it
my
reminds me a little
fucking
bit of The Exorcist meets Hocus Pocus.
Unpopular opinion, Hocus Pocus is a bad film.
You tell that to the cat.
You tell that to
cat-
Binks, you
tell
asshole.
Binks straight to his face.
I also...
You tell
I
Emily.
can't tell that to... Never mind.
To Binks because that cat is probably dead.
No, I can't... No, there's other reasons I can't say that to a cat named Binks, but we won't go into that.
In the early 1600 Americas, a town is terrorized by strange happenings. They go into the wood to figure out what the fuck is happening and find that there's a hollowed out tree with some bizarre shit in it. Back in the town, a baby goes missing. Somebody took it and it's a big deal. Come to find out, the woman who they think is the witch, this is the first mentioning of the witch. That's my bad. Terrible character development. takes the child to the tree and does
Moron.
some crazy stuff with it. I'm not sure. I think it's messed up, though. In the end, the baby disintegrates or something. I'm not really sure. All in
Disintegration
all,
of a child.
the Salem witch trials were totally justified.
Wow.
Stop. That's not true.
Also, Disintegration of a Child. Great death metal band name.
Yes.
Please welcome to the stage, Disintegration of
Disintegration of
Child.
child.
Disintegration of a...
Make it
Okay,
happen.
so I will say this before we watch this movie. Number one, I don't think Luke should get any points for this film at all because he's seen like 30 minutes of it. And even if
His face.
even if it was in Chinese or whatever the fuck he's talking about.
I remember
That's not
there was
fair.
a tree.
Okay.
That's pretty much all I remember for sure. And that
Sounds
there was a baby
interesting.
involved.
Secondly, I do want to say to both of you, this movie's an hour and a half long. It's going to feel like you're watching it for 2.5.
Yeah, I watched
very
half an
slow.
hour. It felt like I
It's
watched
very, very slow.
for literally
But
a
it's
full day.
it's slow. It's a slow burn. It's a fantastic film. This movie came out, and I'm assuming you guys have seen. Fuck, what is that movie? The other one that came out in 2014.
It Follows.
Yes. Have you seen It Follows?
No.
Oh boy, it's
a great movie.
You've seen It Follows.
I worked
Okay.
at a movie theater during it, and
That was 2014, right?
I went and I walked into that theater as many times as I could
Yeah.
because I
So
love that movie so much.
It Follows came out in 2014, and this movie came out in 2015, and I think Cabin in the Woods came out in 2012, 2013.
Totally different movie though.
No, I
Haven't
know,
seen
but
any
I'm
of
saying,
those.
It's like a horror revival.
yeah, there was like a nice thing going on there from like the early 2010s to because everybody dealt with like the Saw shit and all that kind of stuff. I know, Melissa, I'm going on a rant here, but
It's
everybody
Sam's podcast now.
everybody dealt with the Saw franchise, which I love, but franchises and sequels and sequels and sequels and sequels, and it was just boring.
Yeah.
And these movies kind of like rejuvenated that. Like this movie, Get Out,
Hereditary.
It Follows.
Kind of
couple other-
branching out of like the 1, 2, 3, 4
Yeah,
follows,
the
returns,
bullshit,
blah,
yeah.
blah, blah.
The
Yeah.
bullshit like
I'm sorry, I keep
torture.
hitting my
Really, there was like torture porn, and then there was these movies.
snuff torture porn.
Yeah.
Well, torture porn, then paranormal,
Wait,
oh
like
yeah,
found
fucking
footage,
Paranormal
paranormal
Activity
movies,
blows
and then these.
ass.
Like
That movie
those-
sucks.
then really
found footage.
artistic. horror
Found
movies.
footage. That's what it is. Yeah,
Thank you.
it was like torture porn, and then found footage, and then people stopped being stupid, and then they actually.
and now there's good horror movies.
Now there's good
again.
horror movies again, which is so refreshing.
I have a question. Have you guys
Yes.
ever seen actual snuff films?
No. I would like
Okay,
to not. Actually,
so
yes, I have
yes,
seen one.
I have against my will, but yes.
That's probably a crime.
What about how did you?
Two dudes, one hammer?
Yeah, that's
Three
the same
dudes,
one.
hammer?
That's the same one I'm talking about.
Is that
Yeah.
a snuff
Two
film?
dudes, one
I think
hammer.
we watched that at the same time.
We watched it with Mitchell.
How is
Yeah.
that a snuff film?
It's
They
these
killed that
kids
motherfucker.
Who,
They
I know, but
killed
isn't
that
that
guy.
this
just
dude
a-
with a hammer to death.
I know, but I've seen that too. But isn't that just like people? How is that a snuff film?
A snuff film is just a video of people
somebody
of someone
being
killing
killed.
someone.
Oh,
Yeah. What did you think it was?
It's not like a marketed
it was- yeah, I
movie.
thought it was
No,
like a-
It's
Oh
just
no,
a-
those no. So there's never been a marketed film
with
that
actual
shows
people
death
think
in it.
that there is.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's tons of
Okay.
like people think that like a Serbian film, people think that's a snuff movie.
it's not.
It's not. People used to think
Cannibal
Texas
Holocaust.
Chainsaw was a snuff film.
And Cannibal
Holocaust. There is animal death in that movie,
Yes.
but there's no human death in
Yes,
that film.
there was a time. Well, no. Never mind. I was gonna say there was a time where I thought I remember people thinking like Human Centipede was kind of real,
No,
but maybe that was Human Centipede 2.
No. So there are snuff films that are distributed, but you gotta. I don't disclosure if you know this
It's getting
if
weird.
anybody's fucking listening to this shit. I don't look for this, but there are snuff films that you can find on like the dark web and all those kinds
Oh,
of
I'm
things.
sure.
But
Yeah,
there's never
yeah.
been like a movie that's there have been fake snuff films that have come out, but there's,
Yeah.
there's never been
Okay.
some shit like that. I mean,
Okay.
that, like I've listened to a lot of Sword and Scale, so like I
Yeah.
have heard a lot
Like
of
that
fucked
one
up.
dude with the ice pick.
Yeah, there's some other shit in
The
that
Canadian guy?
Yeah, the ice pick thing, and then there's some stuff about I don't want to.
Yeah,
I
that
don't wanna
that
talk about
podcast
it.
is
It's pretty rough.
All right.
Anyway.
Well,
Anyway, let's watch this fucking movie because it's real good.
roll that second clip, boys.
Roll the clip.
What dost thou want?
What canst thou give?
Wouldst thou like the taste of butter? A pretty dress? Wouldst thou like to live deliciously?
Yes.
Wouldst thou like to see the world?
What will you from me?
Dost thou see a book before thee? Remove thy shift.
Before we return you to today's program, we just want to remind you that today's show is brought to you by Audible. Audible is offering our listeners a free audiobook with a 30-day trial membership. Just go to audibletrial.com/plot and browse the unmatched selection of audio programs. Download a title free today and start listening. It's that easy. Go to audibletrial.com/plot to get started today. So why Audible? Audible's content includes an unmatched selection of audiobooks, original shows, news, comedy, and more from the leading audiobook publishers, broadcasters, and entertainers. To give you a little taste of what I'm listening to David Lynch's Catching the Big Fish, Meditation, Consciousness, and Creativity, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm listening to it at work, on my commute, while I'm doing chores, and all that kind of stuff. But you don't have to take my recommendation. That's the beautiful thing about it. With your free book, with your trial membership, you can pick anything in Audible's content libraries and pick that and have that for free. So again, just go ahead and go to audibletrial.com/plot. That is audibletrial.com/plot for your free audiobook. And again, we just want to go ahead and thank Audible once again for sponsoring our show today. And now we're going to go ahead and return you to the show. Welcome thy back, Father.
Hello, thy. Welcome back to
To
so
thy
bad.
plot unknown.
Blood Unknown.
Thy
Thy
Samuel,
oust fake Christians.
thy Samuel has the plot.
Okay, so
I wasn't going to join in on that.
The Witch
With two V's.
is The Witch with two V's is not an easy movie to summarize. So there's actually multiple summaries on IMDb that are different from each other.
That's kind of what we've encountered in this show, is that even with movies like National Treasure, which have one meaning, there are like three different versions of it.
People
So,
interpret things differently.
I'm going to read this
Yeah,
one.
like stealing the National
Shut up, Luke.
Declaration of Independence.
Okay, so I'm going to read this one because I think it's the one that actually fits.
Who's it by?
Nick Reganis.
Nick Bananas.
Banished from the bosom of their righteous pilgrim community, Patriarch William and his Puritan family set out a poor farmhouse on the outskirts of a thick and dark forest in mid-17th century New England. As the struggling family tries to settle in their new isolated homestead, before long, disaster will strike when their infant child vanishes into thin air, and shortly after, other unforeseen and grievous calamities smite the God-fearing farmers. However, is this grave situation the result of a family on the brink of a psychological breakdown, or is the root of all evil the family's firstborn daughter, Thomasin? Furthermore, could a malevolent dark foe in reality be tearing them apart?
So, before we jump into the movie itself, Sam made a good point in that I probably don't get any real points, but hypothetical points, I think I got like an 8.
Bitch, no.
What do you think I got hypothetically?
I think you got the beginning right, but you
So
thought
what I
that you
had
saw
seen.
like 20 minutes of that movie, but the beginning of that movie is what you wrote was the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So no. I actually think
How many hypothetical points did I get?
None, Luke. Shut up.
None?
Melissa
2.
gets more points than you do.
No, I get no real points from this.
Right, but
I'm
even
saying,
if you were going to get real points, I think Melissa gets more points than you do.
Damn.
Because she did mention like a possessed child and things like that.
Let me tell you guys. Had no idea.
Okay, let's
I
quantify
pulled
it.
shit
How
out of
many
my
points
ass and
did
it
she
works
get?
out. How would you say?
She did say it was in
got-
England.
What would you're the host of this show? So what would you?
I'm a co-host
what would you
of the
say?
show.
Oh,
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
sorry.
I don't know, like a 5. I don't remember yours that much.
Well, I said that it was in the 1800s, which is not true.
Not true.
18th century.
No.
17th century. No, 17th century, 1600s. Okay,
yes.
yes or no?
So I was right on that.
Shut the fuck up. I said it was in England.
Wrong.
Close.
New England.
Yeah, it's
Basically the same
America,
thing.
But they got British accents because colonizing. But yeah, no, I think the main thing that I got right was the fact that I said that, like, I mean, granted, it was a little off because I said it, like, the son did. One of the sons did. Was, like, possessed by the witch. Like, the witch had his soul, which is kind of true. So, yeah, I think a 5 is solid.
5 or 6. Yeah,
Sick.
somewhere around there.
Y'all, I'm on a roll.
So, I guess the important thing is this is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Okay.
And I guess when we first went to go see this movie in the movie theater, it was like heralded as like the scariest movie of all time and all that kind of stuff. Mostly because it's like atmosphere and it's a lot more storytelling than it is like shit that comes out and jumps out at you.
It's
And the
deeply
one moment that happens in this movie when the witch is in the barn and she turns around it's almost out of place to the point where it's funny.
Yeah, I was laughing at it because it was so bizarre.
It was out of nowhere. And so when we went to go see this movie in the movie theater, it was me and Maggie and then like 17 other people that obviously we didn't know.
I was like, you have that many friends?
Everybody else in the movie theater was like laughing, and everybody else in the movie theater at the end of it was like, oh, this movie was fucking garbage. And I guess like at the time, like I'm saying, it was heralded as like a fucking terrifying film. And I guess because this is kind of an artsy horror film, I guess I want to know from you guys
which
how
has a certain connotation.
Right. I guess before we really like dive into like the meanings of things and all that kind of stuff, I guess I kind of want to get a feel of how you guys felt about the film. I want to start with her.
Okay.
Not you.
I'm the most important. I mean, I don't have a big background in like scary or horror movies. I've just like recently like watched a lot of them. Not even a lot of them. But I will say that, like, of course this isn't like some like big old fucking scary fucking shit show jump scare bullshit. Yeah. But I think the creepiness of it and like the true horror of it comes from, you're right, the atmosphere and like how they use like color and scenery and
the blood in this movie is so fucking red.
It's
and
so vibrant.
And you don't see it until like the last 15 minutes. It's awesome.
And especially I think the part that probably gets us the most is the music and like the score
the
of it.
sound is so good.
It's terrifying because they use those like high pitched fucking violin sounds and then they use
choruses.
Like choruses.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
that's the prehistoric
spookiest.
SpongeBob choruses.
Yeah, the prehistoric SpongeBob choruses.
It's
So
spooky.
I guess like
spooky.
Melissa.
Yes.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
Or is it like, because I've heard from people that they don't necessarily like this movie, they appreciate it. Does that make sense? Like they don't really like this movie because it's slow and it's plotting and it's fucking boring for like an hour of its runtime, but they appreciate the way that it does things. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna lie, for like an hour, this movie's there's not like 10 minutes and then an hour long of boredom, but there's definitely like 15-minute spike, 20-minute lull, 15-minute spike, 20-minute lull. You know what I mean?
I don't necessarily agree with that
either.
Because
no.
I don't think that it's I don't think it's boring.
I don't think it's boring at all.
I'm not
Like,
saying it's boring. I'm
no,
saying
I
that
know,
that's a
but
common
I'm saying
complaint.
like in general, I don't
Yeah.
agree with that.
I don't agree with the common complaint because it's not boring. Like I was.
Yeah.
To be fair, I did fall asleep for maybe 5 minutes.
But that's
During like
because
the
it was
most exciting
11:55
part of the
a.m.
movie.
But that was because I was horizontal. It wasn't because the movie was boring.
That's
It's
what
because
you said.
I get horizontal and I get sleepy and I fall asleep. That's how it goes. But I wasn't bored at all. The entire time I was like fully enthralled. Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I can see why people would get bored by it. I think because
It's the
there's a
people who
lot
don't
of
like
there is a lot of like
I also think it was a lot of expectation.
Yeah.
Yes,
People
but there-
things get hyped up.
there also is a lot of like, here's this 3-minute really high tension scene.
Yep.
And then
then
blank
here's
screen.
this,
And
with,
then there's, like, a
ton of
refractory
music and a
period.
ton of sound, and then here's this like 5-minute totally silent, like music wise.
Yep.
I don't want to say exposition, but like family drama
Yep.
almost.
Yep.
And I can understand why that's boring, but I think that like I don't know.
It also doesn't help that they say thy, and it's like
See, I
1600s.
think that plays into it.
I love it, but I'm
Pilgrim,
saying like
motherfuckers.
for general audiences at the time when it was released, it didn't help that they were saying like
I think that there's
religion
a
is not good
specific
enough.
distinction of who should see this movie.
I think
and
so,
I think
too.
that when we get to the portion where we talk about if we're going to recommend it to somebody,
Yeah.
it's a very like I would recommend it to all of the people we know, maybe to 2 people, because
Yeah,
like it's
same.
if
Same.
you're going in expecting a regular horror movie, that's not
what
at
you're
all
getting.
getting.
Nope.
You're getting a thriller, really.
I don't even really think you're getting a thriller. I think you're getting a drama film. Honestly, I think
a
that
drama film-
95%
it's like
of that movie is a
Hereditary.
drama film.
It's like a drama film with the last 15 minutes are scary.
No, Hereditary has way scarier moments
Yeah.
than any of the.
But it's a
anything that happens in
similarly
this movie.
paced
like
film.
When, bam!
It's
When
a
they
very
fucking ram
similarly
into
paced
that.
film.
Yes, it is very similarly paced.
And that's
I
what I'm
will
trying to
say
say.
Hereditary reaches a peak in the middle, and then it shoots down from there until it goes to the end.
Oh yeah, that
Because when
ending,
when she
God.
slams into that fucking post, man, that shit is dope as fuck. Anyway,
Bro,
so
no, that whole last sequence where the husband gets set on fire.
Oh, no,
and
no, 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 no,
she's-
no,
and
that-
the
that's what I'm
creepy
saying.
naked
That's what
dude-
I'm saying
The first
is-
creepy naked dude that you see is
Yeah.
standing in the corner.
No, but
that's
that's-
the scariest thing I saw.
But that's what
all
I'm
last year.
saying. Like, I'm saying that there's the post, and then there's a long family drama, and then
Yes,
there's that
yeah,
stuff
that's-
that ramps
that's
up in
fair.
the last 10
That's
minutes.
fair.
So, what did you think?
I really enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, I knew you
And
would.
I kind of just related it to Hereditary there. I think I would almost relate it more to Antichrist. And I don't think the pacing is similar, but it feels like a similar movie to
I
me.
think Antichrist is a way more sexual film.
I agree, but I think that there is
Boobies.
that movie
No.
they just kind of feel.
Have you seen
They gave me
Antichrist?
the same feeling, you know.
I get you.
especially the ending. The
It's
ending of those two
unsettling.
movies, I'm like, okay.
I
yeah.
think Antichrist. I think this. So, for context, I like this movie better than Hereditary and Antichrist.
I think I like this movie better than Antichrist, but not as much as Hereditary.
Okay. So,
I haven't seen Antichrist, but I'm gonna give my 2 cents, and I like it more than Hereditary.
do you?
I do.
Awesome.
I don't really like Hereditary that much.
Really?
Yeah,
I love that movie.
just mine.
So with the thing with Antichrist is that Antichrist is way more blatantly in your face.
Yeah.
This like Antichrist is a slow burn, but you know, there's the kid jumping out of the window, and there's Willem Dafoe's nuts getting smashed, and then there's the clitoral there's
that
the
movie's
declit
fucked up.
scene, and
I
like
want to see it.
it's fucked up. It
You
used
gotta
to
be
be
prepared.
Yeah, you got
It's
the
gonna be
Antichrist
probably
is a
the
ride.
worst, the like most cringy thing you've seen.
Not in a bad way.
Yeah, not in like, oh hey, here's
not
a
in a bad
socially
way.
awkward office scene. It's like
No, it's
it
like-
is painful
It's
cringy.
painful to watch. Yeah, but in
good, though.
like I
It's
said,
real
it's
good.
not like painful. Like, oh, this movie's bad. It's like painful.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this movie is dangerous. like
fucked
yeah, like
Not in a Saw way.
No,
it's
and
just fucked up.
that's kind of how I feel about The Witch. Is that there are certain films that, and you guys talked about 100 Scariest Movie Moments on Texas Chainsaw, right? And there are a couple moments in that documentary where they say like, fuck, it's like you watch these movies and you think like, this filmmaker is unhinged. Like they're not okay. And I very much feel that way about The Witch.
Yeah, I could see that.
I very
could
much
see
feel that way about this movie, because when I was saying to you guys, like, I don't think this movie's about witches, right? I think this movie is deeply rooted in trying to find a voice for a coming of age film for a woman in a way that's not necessarily in your face about coming of age, right? It's also a rejection of organized religion as a whole, which, wow, makes sense why I would fucking like this movie. But like, I guess we can kind of get into sort of like talking about what happens and like what you guys liked about it, because I don't want to dictate this whole thing. I'd rather you guys just talk.
Well, no, I mean it's your episode.
No, I know, but like, I love that you said that the color and all that kind of stuff, because I think that when I mention like it's about a coming of age film, to be like a really fucked up coming of age film for like women, they mention in the scene where they're arguing in the attic that, oh, our daughter has like had the blood come or some shit like that, right? So Thomason, like they say, basically without saying that, Thomason just started her period. And then later on in the movie, when what's his face, the dad, gets slammed by the goat, the blood is so fucking red. It is so vibrant, and I don't think that's a mistake, you know? And the person who ends up being alive at the end is the oldest daughter, who is implied to just have started to go through like changes in puberty and all this kind of stuff. And then it's no coincidence that the witch comes up as an older woman, right? And then that older lady isn't there in that big circle. So it's almost like she's taking the place of someone else.
Yeah. So I think the scene that kind of most supports what you're saying is when she's milking the goat and it comes out as blood.
Yep.
I think that is very easily a metaphor for like starting. I'm not a woman. I don't know how.
Yeah, no, neither am I.
Period for the first time,
Neither
but
am
I feel
I
like
am.
I feel like that's a good metaphor for
Or
that.
like
right?
when she kills her mom and she's just like letting the blood
like
drip
onto
on her face.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's so fucking red against like all the dark browns, because this movie's very brown.
Yes.
It's all the dark browns,
A
and
lot
it's
of
just
muted
like
colors.
Yeah, a lot of muted yellow and browns.
Yeah. Yes, Melissa.
Nothing. I don't want another. It's not important. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I guess the cinematography is just what really got me.
Yeah,
'Cause,
man,
like, I
those
mean,
shots are so good.
It really sets up, like, if you don't, like, okay, obviously the music gives a lot of the spookiness, but even if this like movie had no sound and you just watched it, you would still tell that it's supposed to be creepy. Like you could still tell, because it has those warm tones that a lot of scary movies have. Has those like muted warm tones. And I mean, it's always a switch up. Some have like really cool colors, but no, you could.
Hereditary is very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
It's very blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very cool
And some
hues.
fires.
Is what you're talking about. Yeah, so I didn't really see the color as much as you guys did. I saw the red and the blood, but that was kind of the only thing I noticed.
It's like there's the red and the blood, and then Black Phillip is like literally the only thing that's black in the whole film,
that I also
which is
caught.
crazy.
Black Phillip.
The
So
thing,
funny.
but Melissa, you mentioned like
That's
the
the
cinematography
1600s,
and stuff
man.
like that.
Yeah.
The thing that I enjoyed most, I think, none of the scenes or anything like that. I think I enjoyed the setup of the shots, like the way that. I don't know who the director is. I don't know who the
This was his first
cinematographer
movie.
is.
Wow,
They
impressive.
anytime there was a scene in a room. Well, not anytime, but most of the time that there was a scene in a room, they made sure to include the entire room in one shot.
Yep.
And it is like like you were saying, it's just kind of unsettling for some reason.
Yeah.
And-
I would
but
definitely
it's
say this movie's not
beautiful.
scary, but it's unsettling.
Yeah, like, but it's shot just so well. Like when
It's gorgeous.
So when Thomason that's her name?
Thomason,
right?
yeah.
Fucking Thomason.
Yeah, that's her name.
When she like shoves her, this is a great scene by the way. She's laying with her dead mother on top of her, and it's like 6 or 7 seconds of just nothing, and then she
shoves
pushes
the
her
mom
off of her, and then she walks a little bit forward and is in the total middle of the shot and is like centered behind the house,
Yep.
and it's totally symmetrical. Aside from the 2 dead bodies that are behind her,
Yep.
like they make sure that you can still see the dad's face,
Yep.
and you can still see the mom's body.
The dad amongst
And-
thy wood.
Amongst that
Man, that is just such a good
And then
moment.
I
there's
I
so many
love-
good shots, and when she goes into the
Yes.
cabin and just sits there,
And just
and
sits
it's
there,
just
and
like,
it's completely
fucking wow.
silent. There's no music. There's nothing. It's
Yeah.
just, you don't even hear her put her head on the table. It's just silent.
It is so good.
I will say that like Okay, so for Instagram, I'm usually the one that does Instagram, obviously. I usually post like a picture with like the summary.
Yeah.
That was the scene that I thought of to post.
When
which
her head is on the table?
No,
Oh, no.
Where she's standing up and her parents are in the background, dead as fuck, and she's just standing in the middle of the frame.
Yes,
It's so
that is
powerful.
perfect.
Yep.
It is so
Yep.
good.
That's
it's so
immediately
good.
what I
The
thought
other
of.
good one that you could post is, and also
Don't
another great scene
spoil it.
is, hey, they know what they're getting into.
No,
Yeah,
I'm just
that's
kidding.
true.
Another really good scene is when the witches at the very end are all dancing around the fire and they
They
just
start
to
levitating,
float up.
bro.
Man, that is such a good moment. And
Yep.
you're just like, so like you were saying, I think the deep meaning is like a coming of age story, but I think on the surface,
as a woman,
Yes.
we have two dudes with penises talking about this right
I
now.
have
As a
vagina.
woman,
allegedly,
That's true, allegedly.
do you are you, because I don't have that, I don't have
Yeah.
your experience, right? So like, am I totally bullshitting when I say like I feel like this is almost like a really twisted and dark 1600s coming of age film, or like does that kind of make sense, or am I totally nuts?
I mean, like, obviously, I never think that deeply about film, just because I don't have that much of a brain depth. But I don't. I just, like, I always, like,
Jesus
not
Christ.
that much gray matter.
I don't, bro. I'm serious. I have, like, the most, like, basic thoughts on movies. Like, I never think about it that deeply.
Yeah.
I don't know. I probably should. But, no, I mean, I fully think that. I mean, like, when you explained that, it made a lot of sense. And I think in the end, it is like a really twisted coming of age film, because you're right. Like, I mean, obviously I didn't notice that, but like the old woman wasn't there at the end. So she's like taking her place. But I mean, like as a woman, it's not like I had some like grandiose fucking, I was on my way to church and I was like, Mom, I'm bleeding.
Oh no,
You
yeah,
actually had
that's
a
not what I
very
mean.
Similar
Yeah.
experience to Thomason.
Yeah.
Because
I started my period and then I said, holy shit, I'm a witch.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, that's what all women go through.
No, I just think like it's not necessarily.
Wait. I was laughing earlier and I'm going to say, you can cut this out. This might be weird, but I started my period today.
Wow.
Weird, right? You can leave that
There
in
you
too.
go. That's weird.
I'm not afraid to be a woman. Weird though.
We got
Yeah,
feminism out here.
I just feel like
Witchy.
it's so interesting that like the 1600s, that women were treated obviously very misogynistically, and also like anyone who stepped out of line, I mean, was automatically considered
A witch, yeah.
right? And so
Was it you, Luke, that said the Salem witch trials were like
we're
justified.
completely
We're
justified.
justified.
Jesus
Hey,
Christ.
this movie proves that.
No, it
Yeah,
didn't.
you're right.
She's a witch.
Whatever.
I want to touch on this. I fucking hate the twins. I hate the twins.
love the twins in like such a
God, I
twisted
hate
way.
them.
Are you
They
talking
the
about you
worst.
don't enjoy their character, or like
No,
they-
I enjoy. I'm glad that they're in the movie. I just fucking can't stand them because
because
it's
they're
so.
chotches.
Yes,
I like
because
Caleb.
I like Caleb too. I think Caleb and
Caleb's a
Thomason are the
sweetie.
best two characters.
Mm-hmm.
That fucking twins, when they are rolling around on the ground, the dad is so stupid.
I missed that. I was asleep.
Okay, so what happened when you were asleep was
Yeah.
they find Caleb, right?
No, yeah.
Okay, so
there
when
for
they
that.
find him, they bring him into the attic because
Mm-hmm.
he's like fucked up, right? And basically, it's like an exorcism scene without having an exorcism. Like, it doesn't work,
Yeah.
right? Like, they all hold hands and pray for him and all this kind of shit.
Amazing.
And he throws up a rotting apple, and it's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Because he was looking for apples earlier in the movie.
Allegedly.
Well, he lied about it, but that's the whole
But
point.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
So the witch put his sin back into him to show his parents that this is not the truth, right? And so while this is happening, they're all like around him praying, and the two twins, like Thomason is clearly there sitting there praying, and the two twins are like, I can't pray because Thomason is blocking us from praying, and it's bullshit, and you as the audience know that it's bullshit, right? And then but the dad is so fucking stupid, and the mom is so full of like revenge towards her own daughter, which is fucking crazy. Like, that is so fucked up. That they just don't, the characters just don't care. And then the twins, they start like heavy breathing and all this kind of stuff. And even when the dad comes in and yells at them, wake, they don't wake up until he grabs them. And they don't wake up until he threatened to kill his own son.
Okay, so there is something that I'm a little confused by with this movie, right? And that
Okay.
it relates to the twins because Mercy was saying right before Thomason was like trying to say that
she's
the
like,
witch
"I am
to
the
get her to
Witch of
shut
the Wood."
fuck up. Yeah, she said that Samuel got taken by a witch and that she is the witch.
Okay.
And that they talk to the goat
Yes.
and that they continually refer to the goat as the king and all of that kind of stuff. They also disappear when the witch comes.
Yes.
What the fuck happened to those kids?
So-
are they a product of the devil? Like, are they in
Are they like
cahoots
devil
with
spawn? Is
said
that what you're
devil?
asking?
Well,
So-
not devil spawn, but like, are they in cahoots?
I don't think so. I think that. So, Caleb obviously not a devil man.
No,
Right?
He loves God.
Thomason
He just fucked up.
Thomason becomes a devil woman at
Yes.
the end, but
Right way to go.
isn't in the beginning.
Yeah.
No.
The two, I don't think any of the family is necessarily involved in any of that kind of stuff. I think that the twins are, if you watch the movie, the twins are more apt to lie in there or like be annoying or be frustrating or anything like that. But I don't think that they're in cahoots with Black Phillip or the devil or anything like that. Or the pirate that spawns out of Black Phillip at the
Yeah, I
end.
was gonna say I was a
Part's
little
amazing.
iffy on the
Yeah, I
whole
don't
pirate
love.
look.
I think if they didn't show his face, it would have been a
I
lot
think
creepier.
the hat is sick.
Yeah, the hat is sick.
Good
but,
hat
The
game.
leather gloves.
Yeah, but you guys, I mean,
The mustache was just a little
Melissa,
bit
you
too
called
much.
him Captain Hook.
I did call him Captain. I said, "Let's look Captain
shit-
Hook
No,
over
when
there."
he
shit
said
is
that, I straight
hilarious.
up was like, "Is that a fucking pirate? What the fuck?"
Yeah, I think there are a couple things in this movie that don't work,
Do you
and
want
that's
to
one of
live
them.
deliciously?
I think that's kind of the only thing that doesn't
Well,
work.
I think so. I think the voice really works. I think
works
that
if you
voice
find
is
pirate
so
sexy.
good. It's
oh
like
yes,
that voice
yes.
is creepy, but also really
Yeah.
soothing in a weird way.
yeah.
Sexy. He said,
Yeah,
"Do you want to
sexy.
live deliciously?"
Can I? I'm gonna say
I said,
you could.
"Yes,
you should.
please,
you
Daddy."
should probably cut this out, but I'm gonna say this. So, Melissa, you and I were Tumblr whores back in the
Was.
day, right?
I'm not
Yes.
gonna.
And
cut
you
this
know
out
that,
the
like,
same.
But I
fucking-
was a glee. I didn't get nudes. I didn't send
No,
nudes.
no, 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 no.
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying any of that stuff. But
Okay,
like
I
you
just
know,
wanted to make sure.
like that quote that was like everywhere at the time. This is not something I reblogged. I just want to say that. But I followed a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
and like a lot of people would quote like it's something along like Jesus loves you, but you love what the devil does with his tongue or some shit like that.
Yeah,
okay, so
yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
That shit is cringy as fuck when you say it out loud,
Mm-hmm.
but
But
the
it
soothing
relates to the
voice.
movie.
Yeah, exactly. The soothing voice that you're talking about is completely 100% representative of that.
Yeah.
Because it's nasty, right?
Sam is a Tumblr
really-
whore and also likes the devil's tongue on
Yeah.
his penis.
It's really ominous,
Yes.
but it's like
Yes.
really soothing at the same time. And
Yeah.
also, it's like really kind of sexy
That quote is so gross.
because
It is
he's
very
like,
gross.
So, what was the first? Oh, do you want to live deliciously?
That's the last thing he
First
said. And I
delicious.
was
no,
like,
the last thing he
yes.
said is, she's like, I can't write my own name, and he
Oh.
says,
I will guide your hand. He
Yeah.
also tells her to get naked.
kind of sexy.
He also tells her to get naked. He's like, remove your
I'd fuck the captain.
Your shift.
Shift.
I was like, what the hell is a shift?
What's a shift?
Um,
No one heard me.
What?
I said I'd fuck the captain.
Captain Hook.
Captain Hook, bitch. Eh.
I love the scene when Black Phillip changes where you don't
the
see his
hoof
face and it's
into
the
the boot,
hoof and the boot at
and
the same
captain,
time,
the
and it's
pirate
like,
boot. Oh shit.
what the fuck is
Okay,
happening?
I
Like,
kind of.
oh my
I kind
God.
of disagree with that.
You don't like
I
that?
kind of thought that
I
was
love that
cheesy.
shit.
No, that was
No.
cool.
I think that I would rather have seen the 4 hooves go to 2 hooves and then
No, that's
it
cheesy.
cuts to
No,
her.
see, I feel like that's cheesier.
You think that's cheesier
Yes.
than this
Just
man
seeing
just going
the
into
fucking goat
boots?
walk on
Yeah.
two legs. Yeah,
He
that's
did it
cheesy.
earlier.
No, he stood up because goats stand up.
Yeah,
but
that's
no,
what I'm
If
saying,
he
but
was
he
walking
stands up-
across that whole scene, that
No,
would've been
he
cheesy.
walks on 4 legs, stands up, and then it cuts to the scene where he's like walking behind her.
Nah. I stand by the director's
I think
choice.
that
like-
shit is
I like
cheesy.
the hoof and boot. I
I
think
think
it's
there's
I do like
mega
the hoof and
cheese.
boot as well.
Granted, that scene was awesome, but
I-
I think there's mega cheese.
You're mega cheese.
We're talking a lot
Dick
about
cheese.
We're talking a lot about the end, right? And we're kind of just like throwing random shit around here. What did you guys think of the beginning? It seems like so long ago.
Yeah, it does.
Like,
It's kind of Can I go first?
Let her go first.
Sure.
Let her go first.
No, go ahead, Luke.
It was kind of unmemorable
Really?
outside of the actual witch scene. Everything
Okay.
else I think is pretty unmemorable.
Okay.
I just think it leaves an unanswered question that, like, what the fuck do they do to get banished out of the fucking pilgrimage?
Out of the pilgrimage.
Yeah.
Well, they call them like false Christians in the
Mm.
beginning of the trial.
They probably sense that they're some voodoo people.
Oh no!
Well, I
the
think they were just a
family,
different
the
kind of
family,
Christian.
the family is
Oh.
calling the trial full of false Christians.
Yeah.
And so I think that they're one of them. I don't remember when the Puritans and the whatever the other people were. What are the other people? The Puritans and something else. I don't remember. But there were two sects of
Evangelical, I don't
Christianity.
know.
There were two sects of Christianity at that time, and what the Puritans came in the no, it wasn't the Mormons. Jesus, the Puritans like were one way, and then they split off. I don't remember what it was, but I think they're just two different sects. of
Something.
And
Was it the Protestants?
Kins.
Protestants, maybe.
I
don't know.
anything
I don't know.
about religion.
I don't know
but point
about-
is, yeah, there was
The
still
point is
religious
they're probably just two
persecution in
different Christians,
1600s.
two
Yeah.
different sects of Christianity, or these people were more like the family was more devoted because they were like really fucking into
Well,
God.
I think it was they were a different sect of Christianity because that
Yeah.
was a common thing
Back then.
Back in the colonial times,
Yeah.
was you would like you had to abide by the exact
certain
sect
amount of rules, yeah.
Christianity that the whole town
Could
was.
you
or else
fucking
they're fucked.
imagine?
Fuck no.
Hell no.
No, hell no. I would rather be dead.
I'm living my sweet happy life, not giving a shit about.
I don't know.
Any
I would love
religion.
God if I was in that time, but I say that because I would not know better.
I was about to say, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
you wouldn't know better. That's the point.
Okay, so you're saying like it wasn't super memorable except for the witch scene, right? But the witch scene is really kind of what I'm talking
I
about
think
here.
starting from
In the beginning where Sam gets stolen
Oh,
yeah, I think
and the
the
witch
scene
is
where
like
Sam
in the
gets stolen
fucking
is
hut
really
and
good,
she's
too.
like,
yeah.
oh
I think-
my fucking
I think
God.
the scene, the like peekaboo scene where she's like where Sam gets stolen is really good too.
Oh yeah.
And he's gone,
That's
but because
cool.
Because it's like boom.
I knew something was gonna
because
happen.
each time
Gone.
each time she did that, it didn't show her reaction, it just showed Sam, and then it held on her reaction when she opens her eyes. But yeah, man, the witch scene is fucked up. She comes with that knife and you're like, he's getting circumcised.
Yeah, you see this is
I assume he just gets all
baby
cut, all kinds of
penis?
cut up.
penis this movie, yeah.
Yeah.
He probably just gets all cut up, right? Like it's just not his.
got
It's
mashed
not
up.
his
She put
wiener.
all-
What do you think happened to him? Because I feel like I know what happened to him because there's
To the baby?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say that he got circumcised. I fully think he got like mashed up because like she starts putting blood.
She starts putting him all
Yeah,
over.
I
yeah,
agree.
it's the baby's blood all over that woman's body.
So the way that I thought about that was like she at the end of that knife scene, she gets closer to his face and like gets closer to his neck. I think that's the baby head she's smashing.
I think that it's all of it.
Shit.
But like,
That shit is so good, man. When
also,
she's like
man,
sitting
that
there
scene
with
was
that
kind
fucking
of weirdly
staff.
sexual too.
Oh, the whole
Because
movie
she's
is
like
weirdly
touching
sexual.
the baby, and you're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
"Ugh, I don't like this.
Yeah.
See her hairy
Yeah.
bush. I don't like it.
I bet you there's another. There's an alternate universe where like
They fuck the kid.
yeah
Yeah.
some shit like
Man,
that. You know what I mean?
Speaking of fucking the kid, in that scene where she's like,
We're gonna get fucking reported for this episode.
in that scene where she's pounding away at the child brains, it kind of sounds like masturbation
off?
sounds,
Yeah.
and I
Yep.
was made
Yep.
thoroughly uncomfortable.
also,
during
can we
that.
talk about Caleb's fucking looking at
weird
his sister's
obsession with
tits?
his
Yeah.
sister's titties?
I mean, incest was not super uncommon back then.
Sam would know.
Well, no, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
wait, no, because that implies I
yeah.
have sex with Sam.
That's just like a thing, especially
Yeah.
like for a family that was just them. You know what I mean?
They didn't know any better, probably.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They loved God and they
loved God and they loved
But
themselves.
you gotta
sisters,
respect Caleb
brothers.
for not acting on his impulses until it actually mattered. Until he was faced with the witch.
Oh,
he
and then
didn't act on any of his impulses.
Yeah.
But the
that
second
part
he
was
saw
weird, too.
some
Oh
controversial.
man, when
Some
she
better
grabs
titties
his
than his
fucking
sisters.
when she grabs his head and like
It's an old woman hand.
oh man, it's so good. It's
Like, who's
so
this old
good.
hag?
It's so good. All of the scenes with the witch are so fucking powerful.
Because
and
they're
it's like,
short.
They're short.
But they get to the point.
They're used not super like they're not super often and like because you can
they don't overdo
the
them.
mashing when she's milking the goat in the fucking barn and she's like slurping.
And then it goes
Oh
from
my
slurping to
God.
like kind of crunching,
Like,
and you're like,
Yes, and you're like, is she eating this?
And then she
thing?
turns around and goes,
And then all the goats,
yeah, I think
all the goats are skinned on the floor, and like,
Yeah.
oh god,
long
it's
night.
so
Also-
creepy.
can we talk about the bird eating the mom's nipple?
Yeah, I was gonna get there.
great.
I was gonna get there.
Interesting.
So my question about that to you guys, is you hear Thomason at the end, the devil. Black Phillip is assumedly the devil or like a demon.
That's
Obviously.
what I would assume.
Says like, dost thou see the book in front of you? Right.
It's the book of the devil.
They say the same shit to the mom before you see the raven or the crow or whatever eating her titty.
Yeah.
And like, so is the mom part of this whole thing?
No, I don't think she's part of it. I think that she got tricked.
Do you think she signed her name into the book?
No,
Okay.
I don't think so.
I think she was just hallucinating.
Yes, I think that she was.
She goes, ha ha ha.
I think that yeah,
And
I
the
think she
bird
was
nipping at
hallucinating.
her.
Now I do think that I don't know. I think that you do pose a good question, but I don't think she signed the book, especially with the way her character had been the entire time. I don't think she
windy.
signed it.
I know it's windy and rainy. When I was sitting over there, the fucking branches were smacking into the end of the house. I was like, "Oh no,
Spooky time.
here come the witch."
It's the come the witch. What was that?
Do you know the witch?
Do you know the witch?
I would have totally been a witch, by the way.
Can you hand me my phone? Also, I am a witch, so. Just
Like,
kidding.
think about. Okay,
This is Luke just said I would have totally been a witch, and 20 minutes ago he said I would have loved God back then.
okay. Well,
That's a good
those
point.
things don't have to be mutually exclusive. You can be a witch and love God.
No, I don't
not
think so.
maybe now, not back then.
But I mean, think about it. If I was faced with a choice, this movie kind of makes it out to seem like only women can be witches. That's sexist.
Oh my fucking god, Luke!
Fuck you, Luke.
Firstly,
But if
a
I was
male
allowed
witch
to
is
be
a
a witch-
warlock. This movie is not.
Oh shit!
This
He
movie is.
owned
This
you.
movie is not called the Warlock.
They're a
it's
warlock
called
until
the
they
witch.
touch a sword, and then they're a spell sword. Thank you.
Oh god.
So, but if I was allowed to be a witch, versus having to love Jesus Christ, I would totally be a witch. Think about all the
You're
cool
not allowed
stuff
to
you
be
can
a
do.
witch.
Yeah, you're not allowed to be
Okay,
a witch.
You're not
but
in my
if I
coven,
was, you could fly.
Oh, also, this movie's way better than the American Horror Story witches. Just want to say that now.
Oh,
'cause you
that
said
kind of
coven.
leads me.
that's not
Okay, I want to talk about other witches, but first I want to ask.
It's like Harry Potter shit.
This movie, The Witch, better or worse than Hocus Pocus?
Shh, hold on. Let me ask my damn question. So Mercy and Jonas
name
talked
is
about how the witch
I also had
flew,
that song come in my head.
like she flew on a broom.
Yeah,
They don't fly on brooms in this movie.
they fly on
just float.
sticks.
Oh.
Where did you see the sticks?
Oh, they're like
She's
walking
like doing the
sticks.
Tuscan Raider bullshit
Yeah.
When?
at the end.
Oh,
The one closest
yes,
in
I
frame,
did
she's like
notice that.
doing like this. They ride on sticks.
Okay, so that then leads me to the next segment,
Okay.
which is let's compare some famous witches.
Okay.
Any
Who would you rather? Never
Would you
mind.
rather fuck? Hermione or
Hermione.
Literally exactly what I was gonna say.
really? Oh my god.
Emma Watson is
Hermione
fine.
or Thomason?
Emma Watson is fine.
Okay, so I was gonna say
Mm.
this. Thomason, I'm almost positive that was like because you see her bare ass
Yeah, that's
in
full
that movie.
boot-
So
boot.
I'm for sure that actress is over 18.
Yes.
But she was playing like a 15-year-old.
Yes.
Yes. Well,
Okay.
obviously.
Yeah.
There'd be some problems if
Yeah.
not.
Well, I don't know. You saw baby dick in
All
this
right.
movie.
Round one. Round one is
Is
gonna
it?
be
Yes.
You sure?
Yeah, I think so.
the Witches versus American Horror Story witches.
The
American
Witch
Horror
Witches.
American Horror Story.
I haven't seen the American Horror Story.
Emma
witches.
Roberts
I'm
is
gonna
bangable,
default
though, I will
to
say.
So is
Cut that out,
Thaisa
please.
Farmiga.
I'm gonna default to the Witches
I also agree with the Witches.
because I haven't seen that season of American Horror.
I don't like Coven. That's why.
No, that's
Next
fucked up. I
question.
love Coven.
The Witches versus Kiki's Delivery Service.
That's not funny. Next.
Because I'm
Is
gonna
this
go Kiki.
anime? Because I don't know what this is.
I'm gonna go Kiki.
That's
Anime.
weird.
I think Kiki is.
She's
no,
a 12-year-old.
I'm not saying hot. I'm saying what
Oh.
are better.
Oh no, we're not
witches.
saying hot.
Oh,
Better
we were
witches
just
in general.
Better witches?
Yes.
Oh yeah, Kiki. I thought you were doing
Melissa,
sexual.
Melissa
no,
thought
no,
that
no,
I was
no,
saying
no.
that the witches are hotter than all the bitches in
We're talking.
American Horror
Oh,
Story.
okay. Well, okay. Sorry. Can we rewind this then? I still
Okay,
go with
so
the Coven
better
witches.
witches.
though,
Okay,
sorry.
then nothing has changed.
No, nothing has changed.
Sam, you're going the Witch because you haven't seen Kiki's Delivery Service.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
Okay.
Good movie.
Is it by the same guy who did Spirited Away?
Yes.
Okay, I'll watch it.
The Witches versus Hocus Pocus Witches.
Which witches? Hocus Pocus blows.
Hocus Pocus.
That's
I'm torn here.
you like
wanna-
Hocus Pocus?
There is nothing wrong with A. There's nothing wrong with that movie. B. We're not talking about the merits of the movie. We're talking about the witches in the movie.
Oh wait, I got one.
Well, let's.
Okay.
I gotta decide.
You're right.
I want to talk. No, I want to
Wait.
talk.
Sarah Jessica Parker is in that movie.
Yeah, she's a horse.
Immediately L.
She's hot in that movie though.
Yeah, I was about to say she's.
like,
I'm
weirdly
leaning
hot.
towards
Yeah.
Hocus Pocus because of that.
The witches or the witches at the end of that one Scooby Doo animated movie where they
Oh,
played.
that one. That one. Oh my god.
Put a spell on you.
Which witches
They do that in Hocus
versus
Pocus, too.
Harry Potter?
Harry Potter.
Better witches?
Yes,
Witches specifically?
Better witches, witches?
Yeah, which
because
witches?
Witches, I love Harry Potter. Witches are not supposed to be.
I think they're more powerful in Harry
malevolent.
Potter, though. So I'm gonna go Harry Potter.
Bro, they're literally aligned with the devil in this movie.
Yeah, but you didn't see her take a wand and Avada Kedavra somebody's ass.
Yeah, but they.
They probably could.
Yeah.
Okay, but that one really pale lady does it in Harry Potter. She kills that one guy.
Bellatrix?
Yeah.
What the fuck you talking about? Oh yeah, she crazy.
Last one, unless
Okay.
if you guys have one. Which witches versus the restaurant witch?
Probably the witches.
Witch
I'm going
kind of
with the
sucks
movie witches.
as a restaurant. Although I will tell you, they have amazing milkshakes. Their vanilla
would
milkshake
you
straight
go to
up tastes like
a-
marshmallows.
Why would you go to?
Bro, I've ordered a
fucking
lot of
Witch
shit.
Witch
I've ordered a lot of
for
shit on
steak and
Postmates, my
shake?
guy.
I've never. I used to go to Witch and get their shrimp po' boy, but then they stopped selling those. So
What?
yeah, they had a shrimp po' boy.
Shrimp from a
Listen, it was good.
Sam,
Please
you're
don't try
talking
me.
about how you would go to witch specifically for a milkshake.
I don't even
I
know they
didn't say
sold
specifically
milkshakes.
for milkshakes. I said I've ordered a lot of things from Postmates and Uber Eats. Thank you. That's
So
why I'm
you
fat.
actively chose witch over anything else on Uber Eats and Postmates.
Yes.
Sometimes you want a Sammy.
You should have said I
I
plead
wanted
the
a
fifth.
I wanted a French dip. They sell French dips
Okay.
and a really good
Anybody
vanilla
else have
milkshake. It smells like
anything about
marshmallows.
this movie that they want to talk about?
I enjoyed it. Thank you, Sam, for picking this movie. That's it.
Sam, do you have anything else?
I don't have anything else specifically, but I'm glad you guys liked it because, more specifically, I'm glad Melissa liked it because
Y'all motherfuckers
I
doubted
knew
me.
I didn't doubt you. I knew Luke was gonna like it. That was
I
a
didn't think
guarantee.
you were gonna like it.
Okay, I liked it. Why wouldn't I like it?
I thought it was gonna be
It's just
slower than it
artsy.
was. I thought it was
Wow.
gonna be a lot more boring than it was.
I don't like
and it
artsy,
wasn't.
bitch. All my movies have been artsy, or most
That's
of them.
true. That's
What did
true.
we watch? Uptown
Don't try
Girls.
me. Okay, American Beauty, bitch. Cruel Intentions was
That's
pretty
true.
artsy.
That's true.
Other ones.
Melissa, let's start with you then.
Okay.
What would you rate
I
this
don't
movie?
wanna- Okay.
Yeah, what would you rate this? That was the next thing I was gonna say.
Let me hold on. Do you know, Lucas? If so, you go
Yes.
first. Okay, you go first.
I'm gonna give this movie an 8.
Okay.
It's very high, but not also too high.
Okay.
But it's high.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
Sick.
Yeah, I think I'm
Nice.
gonna give it an 8.5 because Hide and Seek is an 8, and so is American Beauty, and I think I liked it just a tad bit more.
Oh, I'm gonna give it an 8.5 too because I
Ooh.
think those movies are also
Ooh.
8s for me, and they are better than them.
Yes, I agree. Sam?
Samuel.
Like I said earlier, this is one of probably my top 10 or 15 favorite movies of all time. So, I'm gonna give it a 10.
Nice.
Okay.
I fucking love this movie. I think if you have an hour and a half to just immerse yourself into a world, I think anybody who wants to like deal with family struggles and depression and all those kinds of things, like if you guys deal with that shit, watch this movie. And literally everybody deals with that kind of stuff. So I think this movie is artsy. I think it's hard to read at sometimes. I think it's if you don't know what you're going into and what you're expecting, I think you're going to be let down. But if you actually know what you're looking for and you're looking for more of like a character study as opposed to like a jump out horror film, there's a lot to like in this movie. And Luke, you were saying that you would recommend it to like 2 people. I'm going to say I feel like everybody should watch it. But know what you're going into before you actually watch the film.
Know before you know.
Yeah, know before you know.
I still stand firm in that I wouldn't recommend it to everybody, but I would recommend it to those who want to watch this kind of movie.
That's true. I think an interesting take on if you would like recommend it to people would be like, would you recommend it to your parents? Or like, would you recommend it to your friends?
Oh God, no.
My mom, yes. My dad, no.
I would not. I love our mom, but she would ask an ungodly amount of questions.
I'm not saying I would watch
movie.
this movie with Beth. I'm saying I would say, Mom,
Watch this movie
with the captions on,
and
have
then
the
call
plot
me
synopsis tomorrow.
Have the plot synopsis right next to you.
Yeah. I wouldn't. Mm-mm. To my parents, no.
Any final thoughts?
No, I don't think so.
Love a good witch booty.
The ugly ones?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you didn't see any of the hot buns.
Yeah.
Who's hot buns?
In the distance at the fire, but that's it.
Well,
You can't.
Is that weird?
She's a 15-year-old.
Yeah, but she's
Wait.
18.
Also, I have
18
one.
over. Sorry, you go.
I have one final thing. And this might just be my brain playing tricks on me, but I like when they show like the backs of the witches. It almost to me looks like they're patchwork. Like the lighting on their ass is different than the lighting on their back, and it looks like there's 2 different skin types.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
You
can cut that out. That's fine.
No, I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks like they're not real.
Yeah.
Thank you guys
You're welcome.
for seeing this film at fucking 9:30 at night. If we were to watch this movie again, let's do it at like
It was
6.
at 10:30.
It was at 10:30.
Oh, 10:30. Let's do it like 6.
Yes,
Okay,
agreed.
great.
So, you can find us on Instagram at Plot Unknown. You can find us on Twitter at Plot Unknown Pod, Facebook at Plot Unknown. You can email us at plotunknown@gmail.com. Mm-hmm. I think that's pretty much everywhere. We have a website, but it doesn't do anything.
No. You can listen to us on Spotify and iTunes Podcasts and Stitcher and also Google Play. Probably elsewhere, but those are the main 4. Core 4.
Yeah.
Core 4.
Core 4. Yeah.
So it's my turn next week.
Do you have any ideas?
It's a special episode. It's an hour and a half of just Full House talk.
Yes, it's
X for Full House.
no, it's a different kind of Full House.
What the fuck does that mean?
With X, never mind. Okay, but I'm not set in
X
stone.
gonna give it to you.
I'm not set in stone in the movie I'm gonna watch.
Is it Triple X with Vin Diesel? Does that have Vin Diesel in it?
No, but I think you have the title correct. It's
Triple X?
yes.
That's like a shitty action movie with Vin Diesel in it.
Yes, but it's a different movie.
Is it a porno?
No, it's not a porno.
Damn.
I don't think it. I don't necessarily know if it counts, but I'm gonna see, and we're gonna decide. I'm gonna confer with my 2 fellow compadres, and we're gonna see if it counts. If not, I'll pick another one. But yeah,
Okay.
so I have X for next week.
Okay.
I have no hint for you because of that.
Okay.
So thank you for listening. Thank you, Sam, for
Thanks,
coming on,
Sam.
and
Of course.
even though you're
Thank you,
typically
guys.
our producer,
Yeah,
thank you for-
your non-existent producer
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
sometimes is here and
Sometimes
sometimes
producer.
thank you for now
sometimes.
changing roles and just being a guest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have to wear the headphones this time.
I'm doing it.
Yes.
Do you have anything you want to promote?
Be on the lookout for Fullest House
Fullest House
The new
coming
podcast.
soon.
Also-
coming soon when I fucking finish the show, and then I'm gonna torture myself by rewatching it again. But I'm also gonna torture Luke by rewatching it again.
Yep, this is true.
Other than that, no. Watch The Witch. It's great. Also watch
Full House.
Full House. Also watch
Full House.
no.
Fuller House.
No.
Fullest House.
What's the other movie we
More
said
Full
earlier?
House.
The other horror film that came out in
Hereditary.
2014. No.
14.
Hereditary.
The
It
one
Follows.
It Follows.
It Follows.
Watch It Follows too.
I need to
That's
watch
a good
it.
movie.
Okay, guys.
We're gonna go get some
We're
sleep.
gonna go get nice sleep.
Yeah, it's 1:00.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Roll that clip.
Everywhere you look, there's a heart, a hand to hold on to.
And